Here we are back in the drilling fields. We're going to look a close look into North Atlanta's numbers and really look at the variables that are going to control how far do we have this hangover in the housing. It's going to be led by three variables for North Atlanta. New homes and those what I call silent killers being entered into the market. We've got the hangover mess from the foreclosures, pre-foreclosures, bank-controlled sales, and the last one is going to be lending. When can we get lending back to a normal, healthy environment? That's what we're going to dive into right now and talk to Terry. If you live in North Atlanta, chances are you've seen some of these little weekend directionals. They're starting to sprout up all over the place. South Forsyth primarily. It is the hotbed, the hot haven for new home builders to go. They're all starting to saturate that market. And it's what I call the silent killers. North Fulton also has a good sprinkling of them. In Gwinnett County, as I said before, it is the sprinkling effect. They're focusing highly on the school districts. But here's what's happening. In the numbers, even though we've started to see balance in most of the pockets with closings, the closings are starting to get higher. What those don't factor in are what we call pre-sales. Now these builders, a lot of the big builders are going into neighborhoods that were called pipe farms. You can see here, pipe farms got their name because like in this neighborhood here, had nothing but green pipes sticking out of the air. Now these big builders have come in and they're taking over those neighborhoods. They're building a model home and labeling a phenomenal price for the area. And what's happening? People are getting excited about them and they're waiting 6 months to build that home. It's called a pre-sale. And those numbers are not factored in the numbers that I worked out in phase one of this program, where Gwinnett and Forsyth had both exceeded last year's numbers and North Fulton was just a little bit underneath. If we were to go back and add in the new home sales from the pre-sales, we would be blowing away those numbers in each of the areas. So that's the one thing that's going to be very important. But here's what's going to happen. As much excitement is going to be levied in those areas in North Atlanta, it's going to put a downward pressure on pricing. Because can you imagine, builders today, they're going in, here's your baseline. Right there is where your average price of an area is. A bank is going to go in and say, we got to sell that home, get it off the books. They're going to go in lower than that price. A new home builder is going to say, if the homes have been selling in that pocket for that price, we got to go in underneath those. And that's what's happening. They're basically submarining the prices on new homes because they have to. It's a business, and they're going to make sure in their numbers they can build that home and reach a small profit and build it for a phenomenal price. And people are doing it, and they're buying it. And that's what's happening. New homes at foreclosed prices, foreclosed homes that, yes, they need a lot of work, but people are buying deals, and it's putting downward pressure on the pricing. But here's the great thing. Demand is starting to go up in all the pockets from the lower prices. So that's what we're trying to explain to people. While yes, you're going to hear demand is on the rise, demand is going up in North Atlanta, even without lending being corrected, the problem is it's going to be a painful rise. The price has to go down more until we get lending worked out to get demand to rise. And until we can get to that point, you're not going to have the price be able to go up. It's just not going to happen that way. So we got some of the hang-ups and the headaches to go along from the foreclosure mess, the pipe farms to be worked through in North Atlanta. Things are starting to go in the right direction, but it's from lower pricing. So we got so many things to work on, but we got bank-controlled sales, new homes, and lending. Well, let's look at this. As you can see right here, this shows the 90-day delinquencies. And here's the good thing about it. As you can see, the mountain over here started to recede just about 6 months ago. So 90-day delinquencies finally, as opposed to exceeding, started to drop just a little bit. If that trend continues on, then what will happen is foreclosures, they'll be painful for a little bit longer, then they will start to follow the 90-day chart and they'll start to go down. Until that happens, we got a ways to go, which means foreclosures should be on the rise. So we'll keep paying attention in North Atlanta to new home construction, what I call the silent killers from their pre-sales, as I told you about just a minute ago, lending environment and getting back to a normal, and then your foreclosure wave, and that's going to be led by the 90-day delinquencies. The more we can see those variables go down, the healthier the market's going to get in not too long. 2011 is going to end up being a very interesting year. Demand will be going up, price will be going down just a little bit, but that could represent some phenomenal buying opportunities while being painful a little bit on sellers. It's where we got to go before we can have the market go, more demand, then higher prices will follow behind that. I'm Dr. Terry. Hope you found this educational and entertaining and interesting. We'll keep watching the numbers in North Atlanta. Sincerely with passion, signing out.